So my girlfriend lives in an apartment, and she had a roommate. She recently just had to switch roommates. Her one roommate moved out, and she wants to move into her room. But before moving into the room, she wants to clean, as any of us would, especially if your roommate's really dirty. Now, she called the apartment complex to see if they could do a thorough cleaning of the room, and they said they do when both people move out. So if you're in a situation where you need to clean something and your apartment won't help you, you're going to have to do it yourself. Or if you live in a condo you own or a house you own, you're going to have to do it yourself. So how do you do it then? So, if you would like to clean your room thoroughly with a carpet cleaner, let's do it together. First thing you're going to want to do is clean the room of all the objects that are in it. Remove all the objects. Beds, dressers, tables, lamps, boxes. You want to have as much carpet available as possible because you're going to be cleaning the carpet. If something's on the carpet, you can't clean it. So first things first, remove your furniture. Once you have everything removed from the room, you're going to have a lot of bare carpet. While it's not a very technical job, you're going to need the vacuum next. Why vacuum? Well, you could go straight to carpet cleaning, but think about it. If you have dirt and dust in your carpet, you're just going to get that wet and smear it around. So vacuum the whole floor. Okay, so unless you're a professional carpet cleaner, guess what? You're not going to own a carpet cleaning machine. So, where do you get one? Lucky for you, if you're not using a professional service and you want to do it yourself, which you should as a good technician, much cheaper, you're going to need to go to a local grocery or a retailer that sells these. Either way, find the best deal, or if you prefer a brand, get that brand. But usually for around 30, 40 bucks, you can rent one of these, a carpet cleaner. But you'll also have to buy the shampoo, so keep that in mind. And depending on the size of your project, the bottle of shampoo is going to vary a lot in size too. And the strength might too. You know, if you have pets or something, you might need to rent a more powerful one. So, let's prepare this thing and clean the carpet with it. I don't have an example, so I'm lucky. But if you have some sort of stain in your carpet, you're going to need to pre-treat that first, if you want to get rid of it. A professional carpet cleaner, a carpet cleaning machine, it's not going to remove stains. So if you want to get rid of the stain, treat it first with a high-strength cleaner, and then give that time the rest. The limited experience I've had with carpet cleaners leads me to believe they're all a pretty similar setup. You have your wheels, obviously, so it can roll. Then under this portion right here are your rollers, or mechanisms that actually press the cleaner into the carpet. They press the shampoo. I guess similar to how a vacuum has the spindle with the brushes, this is probably a more heavy-duty version. And see, the setup is a lot like a vacuum. Although, what I'm noticing now is, unlike a vacuum that just spins, this is a 4-bar linkage setup. Which is, if you don't understand a 4-bar linkage, I definitely recommend looking up that mechanism. It's just usually 3 linkages attached to a pivot point. It's how you get circular motion to turn into a singular push motion. So this thing probably pushes back and forth because it's connected to a motor with a coupler link. It's a lot like how windshield wipers and other things work. Very basic mechanism, a 4-bar linkage, very good to learn about. So unlike a vacuum that just rotates, this thing brushes back and forth. And then your shampoo comes out as well. So this is just like a heavy-duty brush. Instead of you getting down on your hands and knees, this machine's doing it for you. And then, usually on the device itself, you can pour some of your mixture into here. So our shampoo and water mixture is going to go in here. You have a handle, of course, so that you can pull it around. You've got a plug to plug it in. A lot of them will have hours on them as well. So companies that use them or groceries that rent them out, they know how many hours of wear have been put on them. So that things like preventative maintenance and other things can be done. This one came with directions, which is very useful, but if yours doesn't have it, this video will help you. And then a lot of them too have a handle that allows you to release your handle. And they have a button that lets you spray your shampoo mixture. Then they'll have an on button. And then warnings and things like that. But that's pretty much the breakdown of your carpet cleaner. So to access our tank, first thing you need to do is pull this wire down. This will allow us to pull off our white part. The wire is on the white tank. So pulling off this separate reservoir opens up the actual tank on itself. So this is where we're going to pour our water and shampoo mixture. And then that eventually is going to be sucked through to the bottom here. I'm using the Rug Doctor OxySteam carpet cleaner. You may have this brand or you may have a similar brand. They're all pretty much the same thing. Now, it's important to read the directions on your bottle, of course. This particular one has me adding 2 ounces, which is 1/4 a cup, of this carpet cleaner for every gallon of tap water. So I'm gonna start out with just 2 gallons of hot tap water, so it'll be 4 ounces of this stuff, and I'll make sure I mix them together. Use a good bucket. If you don't have a bucket, a trash container works really well. Now that we've mixed a few gallons of hot tap water with our carpet cleaning solution, our formula, time to slowly pour it into the tank. And there's a filter in here that helps filter out a lot of the extra stuff. Helps filter out things you don't want in there. You know, so if you pick up anything heavy or rough, it gets filtered out here. There we go. Now let's put our anti-foam tank back into place. Put this down, make sure the gasket is nice and sealed around. Bring up your wire to lock it into place. You'll hear it kind of snap into place. Now it's nice and snug. This handle release lever, if you pull it, it just lets you move your handle overall. So whatever height is comfortable for you. Make sure it is off before you plug it in. A lot of these switches too are 3-way switches. So they have an on for the carpet cleaner, and some of them have an on for a hand tool, and then a center position for off. So when we turn it on, we're going to do the one for carpet, the carpet cleaner on the bottom there. Be smart about where you start cleaning your room. You do not want to trap yourself in a corner. So start in the corner that is farthest away from your door. That way you can work your way out of the room, and you won't have to walk on it very much, which is important if you want it to be a nice clean carpet. So we're going to turn on the carpet function, then we're going to press the button for the spray, and then we're going to move backwards at a pace of 1 foot per second. So that's a velocity of 1 foot per second. If we want to do a more thorough cleaning, you can do 1 foot every 2 seconds. So that's same distance but more time, so that's a slower speed. But I don't think this carpet is too bad, so let's move at about 1 foot per second. Then, when you do your whole layer, lift it so you can roll forward again. Then, if you bring it back and start your second layer, overlap a little bit. So if the edge of your thing ends here, when you come back for your second layer, have the other edge in a few inches. So it's going to overlap 2 to 3 inches. So mostly it'll be in a new area, but it will overlap slightly. When you're done using your carpet cleaner, be courteous to the next person renting it and wrap your cord back up. Now for the fun part. We can pour out the dirty water that was used to scrub the carpet, so we can see how gross that water is, and you can know that you got all of that out of your carpet. It's a good feeling, so let's check it out. So take your tank, and this is where all the water that had been used was filtering through to. Slowly pour it out. And you'll see the dirt and grime in it. That's a good sign, because that's not in your carpet anymore. So pour that out. These things actually go through water a lot quicker than I realized. So one way to tell is, if you don't see water coming out through there, through your filter and pouring into your collection reservoir, your dirty water tank, you need more water. I'll show you what it looks like when it's running through and when you have enough water. And then I'll also show you when you don't have enough water.
After making several passes with the carpet cleaner and then letting it dry, you'll be left with a nice clean carpet. The technicalities aren't too difficult, but make sure you follow some of the basic rules. Replace the water when you don't see it cycling through anymore. Make sure the carpet is vacuumed first, and make sure your speed is only about a foot per second. This floor is much cleaner now, so by following the few directions I gave you, you too can have a wonderfully clean carpet.
Good luck!